Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I am Mark. Ryan is at the other end of the mic. How you doing today, Ryan?
We're hanging in there. We're
We're
surviving.
hang we're
We're
hanging in there.
survivors. Yeah.
Uh, well, speaking of survival,
Yeah. Well,
last night we saw a movie about people surviving and not surviving various things. The long-awaited by some sequel to the 1988
yeah, I believe so.
original
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. We get Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, which is terribly clever and of course sets up the inevitable Beetlejuice if we want the threequel. Hopefully we don't. Michael Keaton returns as the titular undead butthead. And I didn't mean to rhyme it there, but there you go. That's how I roll, yo. And we get a lot of people back. We get Winona Ryder's Lydia Deetz. We get Catherine O'Hara as her mom, stepmom, Delia. We get Jenna Ortega as Astrid Deetz, her daughter. And yeah, again, Michael Keaton is back, reviving his second beloved classic role in 2 years after last year's revival of The Batman. So, and a couple other faces that we'll talk about as we go through. You were excited for this.
Well,
You,
yeah.
yeah, you weren't like crazy, set your hair on fire excited, but you were a fan of the first one,
Yes.
and you were ready for this one. I enjoyed the first one. I don't consider myself a quote unquote fan of the first one,
Sure.
but I
Sure.
enjoyed it. Uh, it's
I
not.
do own the action figure, so
Oh, see there. You see, that's in your fandom. It's not in my fandom. So there you go. So again, I these legacy sequels. I referred to it in my written review. This is like a recently emergent category of film. The
yes.
legacy sequel. It's not a reboot. It is a sequel to the original stuff from way back in the day. Uh, and those normally can go one of two ways, and that is really good or really, really bad. Uh, Ghostbusters Afterlife, good side. Found a way to take what was and roll it into what is and what will become. Rise of Skywalker, very, very bad.
Yeah.
Did that all wrong. Alien Romulus, my opinion, good, not very good, but that was because of that one cameo. That
And
was
I'm
just
fine with
that
the
was
cameo. So
that was a bad choice in terms of legacy sequels, but overall, it did it pretty well. Um, but that all boils down to nostalgia. And Beetlejuice, after 35 years, is all about nostalgia. So, as the guy that had the most invested in this film, Ryan,
yeah.
where do you fall, generally speaking, on Beetlejuice?
Somewhere in between. Um, Probably. Disappointing. I think it. I don't think it's terrible. I think it has some good ideas. I think it's cluttered and it needed a rewrite that took out big sections to make room for the stuff that actually may have worked better. Um, so I don't think it was a complete waste of time or a complete desecration of the corpse, so to speak.
No, that
But
was Deadpool and Wolverine.
well, but yes, but well,
Ah,
but
ah.
yes. Um, but I think that I think the early reviews out of Venice that were stunning, brilliant. This is a great movie. Were not entirely accurate. I don't think that this is a great film by any stretch of the imagination. I think that it's well. Let me put it this way: if the other film didn't exist, there's no way this film would make money. Um,
Correct. I will allow
so
that.
so we're suddenly put in the position of, okay, so you've made a film that wouldn't necessarily, stand on its own without the support of its legacy.
Right.
And to me, that's a swing and a miss, I guess. Not the most grievous swing and a miss, but definitely failed to completely capture the potential, I think, of what they had. And I do think I think part of the problem is there is stuff in this film that for me did work. That okay, so why didn't you do more of, that particular thing? And I think the one thing that we both can agree on is there is one new character in this film, uh, who is a actor who has kind of taken on a particular type. He's been typecast, or he's a legacy actor of his own, of a detective, a hard-boiled detective, who demanded that he always do his own stunts, and then one day doing one of his own stunts came in contact with a grenade and has continued acting in the afterlife as the same character. And
As the hard-boiled cop. And
yes,
I'll say it. Best part of the movie, Willem Dafoe.
yeah.
I
So
want to watch Wolf Jackson Paranormal. It's like if you actually made R.I.P.D. dark,
yes, very
and
dark.
if he was in charge of this, I will watch that show every week. That would be appointment television for me. But yes, Willem Dafoe is Wolf Jackson, dead actor, famous for playing a cop in a bunch of movies,
Can't
and
give it.
he runs a private security investigation
Who knows?
thing in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just got to keep it real. That's the important
Even
thing. You got to keep
even
it
though
real,
it's not.
even though it's not. Yeah, there's a few new characters in this. Like I said, we get Michael Keaton back. We get Winona Ryder, we get Catherine O'Hara, who's great. But again, we add Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe uh, is awesome. Justin Theroux
I
is
could do completely without.
yeah the uh,
He's
he's
the.
slimy no matter how you
But
want to try to describe his character.
but let me put it this way. I think this movie has room for one slimy guy, and his name's on the
Right on the title card.
he's on the title card. So why have another slimy guy who isn't remotely as interesting? Or I don't know that Beetlejuice is charming, but there's something I mean, whatever the opposite is, and yet still somewhat fun to watch.
Yeah,
I don't know what that word is, but whatever that word is what Beetlejuice is. He's
yeah,
disgustingly whatever.
yeah.
So why introduce another guy to fight for that? To me, it was
Well,
a bad.
especially when we clutter the romantic battlefield even further
Yes.
with Beetlejuice's
Well,
ex-wife,
yes, and who is it? Desdemona, or what was her name?
Dolores.
Dolores. Okay. Anyway, Dolores. Dolores is set up to be this pretty formidable foe,
I would watch that movie as well.
but that movie doesn't happen either.
No,
So
played by the lovely and talented Monica Bellucci.
yes, who happens to be dating the director? Anyway,
Oh well,
that's that's how it works with Tim Burton. He dates very attractive women, and they all star in his movies. Fortunately, but in their
they all happen
defense,
to be talented, so
they
yay.
yes, they all have careers before Tim, except for maybe one. But anyway, um, so there are at least two new characters that I would argue are underutilized,
Yes.
that could have made a pretty interesting film if you take some of the other elements of the film, some of the story, because I would love this to have been a detective mystery sort of thing, um, where Beetlejuice is kind of, and this is all Beetlejuice really does in this as well, is he's sort of a guy who sometimes helps and usually just gets in the way, and he's kind of on his own, thing.
Yep.
He's important to the plot in the sense that he's going to be chaos.
Well,
But
his scenes
yeah,
really just move us between various mother-daughter combos
yes. Well,
discussing things.
and as much as I don't, I think the whole fact of, well, we can't have a particular actor in this movie, so we have to kill him off, but we'll
But
kill
not
him.
really.
But and he's in it for so much of it. I think the film would be better if they didn't have this whole, you
Weird
know,
subplot.
weird subplot about Dad's dead.
Yeah. Well,
Dad
and
can be dead.
the
It doesn't
fact that,
have.
well, so let's look. Let's talk about that for a second. So Jeffrey Jones is not in this movie.
No, and
Lydia's
there's
dad is not in this movie for
no, but
reasons
he's
that you can go Google.
yes,
However, his character is
a
in the
lot,
movie. A
a
lot.
lot.
He just keeps showing up and speaking
Yeah,
in what one presumes is Jeffrey Jones' voice, but not Jeffrey Jones' voice because he's not credited in this film.
yeah.
So is it a sound alike?
I have no idea, but
Uh,
I don't. But my I would vote that plot completely out. Let's
yes,
just get
you
rid of that.
done.
100%. Just get
Don't
rid of
don't even
that.
need it.
Nope. There's some claymation scenes that are cool, but you know
That
what?
was actually neat to
He does,
explain the character's absence.
but he doesn't need to be in them.
No. Well,
Or
not afterwards.
no, you know
Once
what
they
I mean?
get past that, no.
Or there's because I enjoyed having some of that stuff in there, although I don't think they did enough. I think you could have had a lot more fun with sandworms than they did.
Yeah.
It was almost like they threw it in because they feel like they had to. Uh,
Okay. A lot of this movie is in here because it feels like they have to.
yeah. So
Um, hey everyone, welcome back to season 9 of the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. If you like what you're seeing and hearing, please feel free to like us, share us, follow us wherever you're listening to us, actually. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. That would be great. Go to the website at vsmoviepodcast.com, and that will give you links to all of our socials. It'll give you write-ups of stuff that's not audio, but you'll get pretty much everything there. So if you like what you're seeing and hearing, make sure you share it with everyone else. Now let's get back to the show.
this boils down to a not great script. Um, I mean, I think there's some reasonably good plot elements in here. I think the mother-daughter relationship between, I don't think we needed two mother-daughter
No,
relationships,
that again, we kept going between mother-daughter combos.
and I think you could have done with one, um, eh, or primarily one. You could have, I guess, grandma saying so. I actually, I
If she'd
wonder.
have just dropped in with the odd pearl instead of having, well, because if they'd have taken out most of her subplot as
Yes,
well and
which I
just
would
had her be kind of like the cranky grandma, except she is not cranky grandma. She is
no,
still
or
artiste.
why not have her be dead and be an occasional ghost, or I don't know, but anyway, less of her would have been more of her.
Yeah.
And then turn the focus on one mother-daughter relationship, get rid of the sleazy boyfriend that doesn't really producer guy.
Nope.
We don't need any of that really. You can suggest that she's doing paranormal TV shows. That's fine. That seems probably about right considering the
Right.
way things have done. So, if she's known for something, she's going to cash in. And yes, there's going to be people who want to make money off of her, but they don't really have to be that big of a part of
No.
the movie. That can be very quick and over with. And then you can focus on, uh, a daughter that goes missing in the other side, in the afterlife, and a mother and who teams up with this, dead
The person she
detective.
least wants to team up with.
Or well, and yes, Ultimate Beetlejuice gets in there. So, I mean, just something. Just
Well, okay, yeah, and let's talk about this. So we don't have Lydia's dad.
no.
We don't have
Well,
Astrid's dad.
not exactly. No.
What-
Yeah.
So there are no father figures in this movie.
Well, there's one for a little bit towards the end,
Yeah, but
but
boy, that
it's
just
well, I know it's a scene that just kind of happens,
yeah,
and it should have a certain amount of weight to it. The problem is because they didn't spend enough time on the dysfunctional nature of the mother-daughter relationship,
yep,
or at least the right mother-daughter relationship. It doesn't hit as hard as it should. It should,
correct.
it should be, it doesn't have to be like tear-jerking moment, but it should have a little more impact than it does.
Yeah, and it doesn't. We also get a cameo from Danny DeVito because it's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, and
Uh,
fine.
and always welcome in any creepy movie, Burn Gorman
Yeah,
as the
well,
priest,
yes, yes,
uh, or the Episcopalian priest, or whatever freaking church
I,
they've got. That
I
he's
don't,
he's he's Father Damien,
yes,
which is hilarious.
yes.
Um, so
He's he might be Satan. We're not sure.
he might be. I don't know. He's very confusing. That's to be sure. Look. So you liked it, didn't love it, disappointed.
Yeah,
Here's where I'm like, I don't consider myself a fan of the first one, although I enjoyed it. I think it's cute. Um, Everything about this one to me just feels like it's there to appeal to those people that loved the first one, right? I don't feel that there's really anything new in this. The both boyfriend plot twists are terribly easy to see coming.
yeah,
Um, and look, I can't sugarcoat it. I couldn't sugarcoat it last night. I couldn't sugarcoat it in my written review, and I won't sugarcoat it now. This is a cynical cash grab. It's nostalgia porn wrapped up in some pseudo modern sensibilities. Um, and and in that so in that way, it's incredibly disappointing. Uh, to me, it's not even half as good as the first one, and it should be. This should have easily been as good. Now, that being said, I see that there are projections that this film is going to clearly decimate the box office this weekend. Uh, so Deadpool and Wolverine will not be ruling the box office this weekend. I will be interested to see the drop off for next week.
yeah,
Because I want to see what happens when all the diehards go through and see it and give it that $100 million plus, and then don't go to see it again, or tell their friends they can wait. There will be diehards that will see it more than once. I get it, but I will be interested to see what the drop off is next week.
yeah,
Because it would be really interesting if next week Deadpool won the box office again. Because I don't think anything else is opening next week. Nothing that's going to challenge either of these movies
yeah.
in terms of appeal. So I will be interested to see that. But yeah, this movie is just frustratingly not good to me. It is everything wrong with the nostalgia, the legacy sequel industry right now. Absolutely everything that's wrong with it. And so yeah, it's sad. It's just sad, really, to me. So I I I feel bad having to say that. I didn't expect that I would come out of it feeling this terrible about it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd come out going, it's fine. But yeah, there are good bits, but they're like bits. But most of the stuff is missing or glossed over or not deep enough. And again, Beetlejuice is in it. I think someone published before the movie recently that Michael Keaton is in it for 14 minutes of its hour and 44-minute runtime. And again, I think his job is to just move us between other character set pieces. The music is recycled badly. Some of the visuals are reused again badly, and only because people want them to be there. Just not cool. They could have expanded Astrid's revelation far more and made her character a little more important, even though she's almost the central figure, even though this is still all about Lydia Deetz. It's still a Winona Ryder's movie. So at least we have that going for us.
But no, you're not wrong. I mean, they forgot to put the heart in the film.
Yeah.
There's no love story here. There's no, and maybe that's, but there was a love story in the original one, and emotional grounding, and it gave something to build the insanity around.
Yep.
But
and yeah, we didn't even mention how that the Maitlands are not in the film.
No.
And of course the jokey answer everyone's given, Gina Davis is like, well, because ghosts don't get old. And so her and Alec Baldwin could not be in the movie because ghosts don't get old. In the movie, it's actually just, we found a loophole and allowed them to move on. Yes, the loophole is ghosts don't get old, so you couldn't put them back in the movie. So that's the loophole, in case anyone's wondering why they're not in it. They found a loophole. And speaking of loopholes, everything is apparently contained in the book, the handbook for the recently deceased.
Yeah, everything.
But never to the point where we see it. It's just, I randomly glanced at this page and suddenly I'm an Afterlife law expert.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just it's undercooked and overblown, I think, more than anything. So that's sad. Warner Brothers is I don't know what the budget on this one was, but we'll see. But it'll probably make its money back. And yeah, we'll see how it hangs on at the box office. So there you go. Again, lots of nice people in it. Said I would literally pay good money for someone to give Willem Dafoe's character a limited series. Yeah. Give me 4 episodes of a special series of Wolf Jackson, Afterlife Detective. That I would giggle my way through all 4 of those. You can't not be happy watching that man on screen. So that's it. That's what we have this week. It is Beetlejuice. If you were already going to go see it, you're still going to go see it. If you weren't going to go see it, I'll tell you to wait. It'll be on Max by Christmas, but not by Halloween, because they're going to want your Halloween dollars. So that's where I stand on Beetlejuice. Any final comments, Ryan, on this one?
No, that's about it.
That's about it. Well, we do have other stuff to watch. We are, as members of the Utah Film Critics Association, we're starting to get tapped by people going, we're going to start sending you crap for your consideration, because award season is literally right around the corner. So we're gonna be playing catch up on stuff. We may talk about some movies from earlier in the year that we didn't talk about as one and or both of us watches them for the first time for this purpose. And we still have some movies coming out. Next week we actually do have 2 to screen, but they're on the same night, so choices will be made about which ones we see, and we'll see which one, if we choose the same one or not. That'll be interesting, and we'll see how that goes. But we'll still be talking about those. We do have other stuff to talk about. We just don't have time right this second. But there's stuff we'd love to go back and talk about. We'll get there. So don't forget to like us, follow us on social media, go to the website, vsmoviepodcast.com, or Ryan's website at
glitterguttertrash.com.
glitterguttertrash.com. And follow us, like us, let us know how we're doing, what you think. And Be good. Stay safe. Till next time, I'm Mark. That is Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you, folks.
And we will talk to y'all later. Bye bye.